Hello, everybody. Welcome to Make It Monday with Amy and Jim. And you can see the title is Getting the Gunk Off Your Feet.
I love the title.
And not necessarily
In a good way. No.
your feet, your feet,
Presser
your,
feet.
your presser feet.
We
but
probably
your-
should have brought a presser foot.
Yeah, there's probably one in here. All of a sudden, we were doing a morning meeting, and I'm like, oh, let's make it Monday.
Yeah,
Let's make it Monday. What do you want to do, Jim? Jim's like, I don't know. What do you want to do? So
because I kind of thought of this because I was
Yeah.
dealing with this problem.
So I'm still looking. There's one here. So there's lots of surgery feet in my drawer. I don't know about presser feet.
Surgery feet would work too.
Surgery feet. We'll get one. Don't worry. Just us being crazy. So get the gunk off your feet. What does that mean? That means
On the bottom,
gunk on that foot.
but
yeah.
on the sole plate of your presser foot, of your sewing machine or your serger.
Right.
Because they can get, we don't usually think of it as because when you're walking with your regular feet and your shoes, when you get in the gunk, you see it, where you don't really think that your feet are going to get gunked up until, do you ever notice that when you're working on a project and all of a sudden it seems like the fabric's not flowing through as well? And the first thing is you blame the machine.
Right.
When it's not the machine, it could be the operator, because you don't realize that there's some buildup that built up on the bottom, the backside of your foot. And that's what's causing it not to feed through easily.
Because we do a lot of fusibles, right? So we do a lot of applique here. We do a lot of, if you're scan and cut, you're sewing things down. Even the bottom of your embroidery foot and your needle can be gunky as well, just because fusibles will cause that problem one way.
Well, you think too, with your needle is metal. Perfect. And if you think of it, when your needle, it's generating heat every time it's going through the fabric. Right. It's generating a little bit of heat, and it's reactivating some of that adhesive that you may be using, that fusible web, to hold it together.
Yeah.
And the same thing for the bottom of your presser feet, that if you have this running across your fabric a lot, and even like last week here, it was very hot. So we were feeling the heat even inside. That's going to make it generate more heat, and it could cause some of the fusible web to ooze out just enough so that it gets stuck on the sole plate of your presser foot.
Right, because friction is friction. Friction is what breaks your needle threads. Friction is what causes the goo. Friction causes a lot of problems. Actually, skip stitches, depending on. That's why you don't like to have your machine vibrate. So like when we're on the cruises, right, we're on these rickety tables sometimes, and we're doing embroidery, and you can see the hoop doing this because the table's vibrating. That vibration, which we call flagging, actually wears that thread. That thread, when you're doing machine embroidery, actually goes in like 20 times before it makes one complete stitch. So
that's true. So because it has to go down, loop, and come back up through. Yep. So you're right.
Exactly. So
it's a lot of friction on that.
It's a lot of friction. So how do we clean our feet, James?
Well, for one thing, I wouldn't use water.
Correct. Right.
Because I don't know what my foot is made of. And some parts could be where it actually could cause rust, if it's like an unconditioned type of steel.
Right. And most of it is.
And since my daughter's diabetic, we quite often have little alcohol wipes at home that I'll just tear open a wipe pack and brush it up that way. But I also like to use hand sanitizer.
That is a great cleaner. People don't realize that.
Yeah. So I can just take a little bit of this on a tissue and just go across the back side of the foot or the bottom of the foot, and it just buffs them right up.
Right, because if you have a Bernina feet, you have that hole, so you don't last thing you want is get water down in there. And if you have the crystal editions, you don't want water in there. So that's the other thing. And these feet, you can see how this one's worn, right? It's very scratched. And as that happens, it's just the feed dogs making contact that cause this.
Yeah.
If your machine's 10, 15 years old, maybe time for a new foot, because that'll also cause sticking and things.
And it'll cause it to even like
back up, right?
Yeah, like fill up with adhesives and gook and whatever.
Right. So the other thing is the eyeglass. You buy those eyeglass cleaner pads.
Yeah.
So basically everything has in common is alcohol.
Yeah.
Right. So, you can use this stuff, right? The good stuff, right? Hand sanitizer, clean your glasses, jewelry.
Yeah. You just want to keep water away from it, because I think water will actually attract
that sample. Yeah.
I think the water will attract even more rust or more products or headaches later on. So just keep any kind of even the spray liquid cleaner since the majority of that cleaner is water based, I would just say hand sanitizer, alcohol wipes, anything like that. And what I like about using the alcohol wipe, there's not a whole lot in that pad, and that we also have a cleaning unit to use that to wipe it off with.
Yeah,
So,
a good clean cloth.
yeah, either like a good quality facial tissue or paper towel will work.
Right. So let's talk about sticky, right? We all talk about fusible web. So
Yeah.
I almost said the word we, but since I was going on we,
I like the we.
the we part, like there's a mouse in my pocket. So I'm going to hold this up. These are new quilted floor cloths, right? So we have the kits in.
Yep.
They haven't been priced or anything yet. Like you just finished these kits.
Yes.
The sample's 99% done. These go on your kitchen floor beside your bed. Look how awesome this is.
It's huge.
And this is made out of home deck fabric, not cotton. So it really has a nice, heavy, almost canvas.
Yeah, they call it slub canvas.
Right. If you have a covered porch, a front porch,
yeah, it'll work.
It would be beautiful in front of your swing or, in front of your door. You don't want people wiping their feet on it. But if you have a pretty porch, this can go on your pretty porch, right? So unfortunately, my porch although I love decorating, it gets a lot of traffic. So, and the little boys will just wipe their feet on anything. They have no clue that, anyway.
It's for show, not for you.
Exactly. So, you teach them to wipe your feet, you get what you get,
Yeah.
no matter what's down there. So look how huge these patterns are. So these are just raw edge. And so this does have a little bit of a stick to it.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of started. And you used fusible web, Jim?
Yep, I use a fusible web. And that's what was the idea for Make It Monday today, because sometimes whenever I was going along the edge, my foot was sticking a little bit after doing a lot of sewing.
Right.
So I periodically took it off and wiped up the back of it.
So this is just raw edge applique. The pattern designer encourages that. So there is a thin batting in here,
yep.
Right? So it does. They are so. There's Halloween. There's Christmas. There's. But you get all the pieces in there, and then the directions and the patterns are going to come on a USB stick because you have to print out multiple pages,
so
right?
It's full size, yes.
And tape it together because these are very big, chunky pieces. Could you do it in your scan and cut?
I thought of that for a second and realized no, because when I'm doing a piece like this, it's
the whole 24-inch mat, you would waste too much.
Yeah, you would waste so much of the fabric just to go and hoop it up and lay it in. So I would not do it in my scan and cut.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying that. You could yes, but the fabric is just enough, and you can't have a wasteful.
But you could still see through like your paperback stable fusible web. So basically, I just laid it on the top of the pattern piece and traced it up, and I did mark on it like all the pattern piece numbers, and then fuse it on and then cut it out. So because +2, like the one print, it kind of went over with the same pattern. So I wanted it to be continued like that. So if I would have done it with a scan and cut, it probably wouldn't have matched.
Yes.
So that's the only time I wouldn't use my scan and cut.
Right. So we have Texas in the house. We have Montana, Michigan. Hi, everybody. So Linda, I was just a week in Dallas, right? And so I only left the hotel twice. First of all, it was very hot here in Pennsylvania too. Like I missed the heat streak here. But if I learned one thing about Texas, I would say it's 110 outside, -10 inside. The conference center, I had on socks, a t-shirt, a blazer. And, I could have worn a beanie hat because the air conditioning was so bad. But it also prepared me the fact that I probably couldn't do well in hell. So I got to be a really good person because the heat was brutal. So I have to be a very good soul from from here on out. It was. It
may cost you later.
It may cost me later. You're right. So it was hotter than Hades.
Well, we're happy to have you back.
I am glad to be back until
next week,
Saturday, and then the family, grandkids, son, daughter-in-law, PJ, the whole cruise to Alaska takes off next week. So we'll be with Reen from Birdie Garden, Stephanie from Caesar Easy Weed. The classroom is a full glass classroom, so it's really lovely.
Nice.
Because even though you're in the classroom, you're still seeing what's going on.
You'll do a couple of lives from there too,
so
right?
It's going to be 45 to 55 there in rain, according to the future forecast. So I don't know if do I do a box opening? No.
No, we're fine with that.
We're good. I don't miss that this time. Yeah. So I'm going to try to go live because I always do the ports and things like that. So anyhow, hello. We got Conquest New York is in the house. Do you guys have any
Welcome.
questions? Janet, Papa, hello. So
One thing I want to mention too, real quick, too, if you have any suggestions for a Make It Monday,
let
you
us
know,
know.
email us. You know, either make a comment here, email us at support at Amy So's, and then in the subject line, put attention Jim or Amy, and Make It Monday. Because next week I already have the one planned because a lady messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm working on this project and I'm stuck. Can you help?" So we're going to be doing that for next week, which I won't tell you yet.
Right. And then the kits will be available online and in the store in a couple days.
Yes.
So they're not inexpensive. They're what, $70?
Yeah.
But we're going to include a USB stick with the pattern and everything to print out.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Reen.
Hey, Reen.
Just said your name, cruising with Reen.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what we're doing. So the see, I can't say the word Teflon, but I'm going to say it. But the non-stick feet that every manufacturer sells is really nice, but they don't make it for an applique, which always bothered me because it's flat on the bottom. So if you have a non-stick foot, if you run into trouble, that's a good thing to use. And I'll give you a hint. If you don't have a non-stick foot, you just have your regular foot. If you take a piece of, again, the brand, I'm probably going to get in trouble, like Scotch tape or package tape and put on the bottom of this foot, that is very much a non-stick surface.
Oh.
But the problem is you got to peel the tape off, right?
And then maybe use this to clean up the
adhesive. They use to clean it up. But if you have an older machine and maybe you have two of the same feet, just keep the tape on for a non-stick type surface. When you're sewing things like this upholstery cloth where it's textured or there's a finish on it, I can't explain it. It's not like it's coated canvas or anything like that. But there's a finish. So
it's almost like a sizing they kind of put on it to make it look pretty.
Right. And since Reen is here, I posted it in both Facebook pages, her new bag and the hoop, which is stunning. I'm going to talk to her next week. I'm going to pick a date. I'm going to do the class live with everybody so we can do a stitch along with it. Yep. You just have the link to order it from Reen. It's magnificent as always. Like, I can't even explain the way the zippers, the pockets, the flaps. That girl's so smart. Anyway. Maybe I won't be able to make it. That's okay. The directions are pretty good. Yes, Reed, you're awesome. And let's see. So Linda's been on our cruises. You go to Catch a Can, go to Saloon and get a wild berry margarita. Girl, now you're talking. Yes, a margarita. And the funny part is the theme night is Hawaiian night. The theme party. So Anthony usually picks these crazy theme party things. Okay. So I'm like, I'm worried about pack because I'm, you're talking like jeans, sweaters, sweatshirts, heavy duty stuff. So it's gonna be, hello, Miss Benita McCall.
Hey, Benita.
I know she's a beautiful Bernina educator. I don't think she retired yet, but
she can't.
That new Bernina 990 just released.
That's awesome.
Lori was filling me in today. It is a stunner. So if you're in the mood for a new top line machine, you can pop in here. Well, we don't have it yet. Hopefully soon we'll get it, but check out your Bernina dealer. They are amazing. So anybody have any questions? Are we good? No good? Crickets? We're fine. Franny. Miss Fran. Miss Fran's waiting on that new luminaire, although we can't call it a luminaire. The new brother that's coming out, the new Bernina's coming out. Janome released their top line last year. There's always so much to learn and do and to try to build the excitement up. So, okay, we got a suggestion. Let's see. Show and tell us different knit fabrics and tell us what they're best used for.
Oh, okay.
That's very good because we have some of Amanda's bundle knits here. Like she does a French terry. She does that Models. She does, yeah. And if it was up to me, I would just do garment classes, but it's a fit problem.
Yeah.
So, but something to look forward to. I don't want to announce it, but I'm just going to kind of set the seed. I don't think that you even know about it yet, but you're going to be involved. If it probably should talk to you first, but we're probably not till fall. We're launching the guild at Amy So's.
Ooh.
And it's going to be a Zoom meeting. So you can show and tell me your projects. We can show and tell projects. You can ask questions. We're going to have some special guests in to talk to everybody and learn something. It'd be all inclusive. Embroidery, sewing, serge, or scan and cut. It's nothing one topic. So it's just for everybody. So keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be fun. Just once a month. We do a big Zoom with everybody. So something we're thinking about. Anyhow, maybe it won't happen. Maybe it will happen. But I think it's going to happen. I'm excited about it. So we can have face-to-face, right? I see everybody's names. If you show up in the cruise, I'm like, oh, I know your name, but I don't know who it anyhow. So I'm excited to see what people do. Right. And I want to see your projects. Because some of you don't want to post on Facebook. You're worried about the privacy. I understand that. So we're in a private group. It'll be a safe space.
Oh, that'll be good.
It'll just be us, right?
So it's
no
not
trolls,
open to the general public.
No trolls. No. My ego and my sensitivity can't take it. The trolls are so damn mean. Got nothing better to do but pick on us. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so have a terrific Monday, because the more you know,
the more you sow.